Today is February the 3rd, 2021. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter, and I am your host. This is the show where we share inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today we have an international story, inspiring international story. This woman, our service hero, we are going to make the case today in this hour that Bilyana Georgieva is truly a service hero, an international service hero with an inspiring story, a story that's very timely, and one that I know you guys are going to want to stay for the whole thing. Truly, truly, truly. Because I'll tell you, when I got a chance to really meet her and find out more, you guys know me, I am not one to become speechless. This one really did kind of get me there. So I want to say thank you for, first of all, being the service hero that you are, and second, for being here on the show today.
Hi, Tamara. Good morning, America.
Yes. Okay, let's explain that one. All right, I did say international. This is an international show today. In fact, we had a little international trio thing going on right before the show, because many of you know that we have an assistant producer, Caroline Brown Batterzins, and she is out of Canada. I am out of California, southern part. And yes, gotta love it. And we have Bilyana, who we're going to call Billy today. She is, well, if you look at her profile, she says the UK, United Kingdom. Yeah, where are you today?
Physically, I am in Bulgaria, in South Bulgaria right now, and it's 10 p.m. in the evening.
10 p.m. in the evening. Okay, guys, 10-hour difference, 10 p.m. in the evening. It's noon my time. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Carol's time. This is fun. I love it. It is, and this is what we're going to be talking about today with you during the show. Is we're not going to quite go there yet, guys. However, the fact that anything and everything is possible right now when it comes to time zones, international intrigue, inspiration, and business, and getting your name and purpose out there. And I want to recognize we have Helene Wilson, and today she is looking for a purple root beer.
Hi, Helene.
I love it. And Helene is our first ambassador of the chat for the nonprofit that I run, cb4l.org. We'll talk about that a little bit today too. And there she is, Caroline Brown Batterzins. So thank you both for being here and welcoming everyone to the show. You are a fascinating person, and I actually met you because and I'm going to pull it up here, we were in an article together just recently, and thanks to a dear friend of the show, one of our service heroes, and one of the new hosts this week on the E360 TV platform, of which in a few moments we'll know that we're live. And if you haven't gotten your E360 TV platform, your app yet, go to your favorite device, go to your app store and download E360 TV, and you can watch us live or in repeat. You can watch us on demand. It's so cool. Yes, web TV, guys. So we were in a prediction article from leaders from all over the world in regards to what we believe 2021 is going to look like. And it was quite an honor to be asked. And what Mark Steven Pooler did was he brought in people from all different areas of business. And that's what was so intriguing. And that's what's so cool, because, you know, the world is a small world when you think about it. how would we have met? You're in Bulgaria right now, originally, and then usually in the UK. You are in business, been in business for, we're going to be going into this, in like the petroleum and gas and pharmaceuticals and all sorts of things, very high level. And I'm a president and co-founder of a nonprofit. Yet we're
Exactly.
in an article together about predictions. That's pretty cool, right?
It is. It's fascinating.
So what was your prediction for 2021?
My prediction was actually, I sum it up in two words. The first one was communities, and the second one is intuition. So what I saw for the last many years is that we form, all the humans start forming different communities, and I'm not talking about in church, but also from business side, especially because of the lockdown, we start forming a lot of communities based on our vision, our ideas, new products, talking about problems, but that brought us a common topic, brought us to follow and be part of different communities. And that is a huge boom right now, especially when we jump on different events. We want to network based on those values and philosophy, what we've got.
Wow. Wait, just a minute, wrong button here, guys. That wasn't supposed to happen.
It's
This is
okay.
live. So, I love that. So, the community and intuition, we're going to talk a lot about that because that's really what your story is about. So, let's go into it. First, I want to say that you really believe in business and you really believe in community and communication, and you've been taking that much further, especially in the last year or two, haven't you? You've really been going out there and communicating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been studying and practicing social media marketing and social selling on all the various platforms, and I use those platforms to actually bring the business and show to the people and share with all the businesses out there what is it to run a business and what is it to be in corporate but also an entrepreneur. Those two together, it's quite interesting combination. And following intuition was also like, okay, so let's see how people are going to take that part.
And that's a big part of your story, so we're going to dive into some of it right now. You did a TEDx.
I did, yes.
When was this?
We shoot the videos, and I was on stage in December 2019, and it was published beginning of January 2020.
Okay, so just for anybody that has forgotten the calendar and kind of the recent history, this is pre-COVID. So where is it that you were on the stage?
That was North England. It was quite interesting because I was in South England the day before for a marketing inner circle. Then somehow we had like a Christmas party in the evening with the team from the inner circle. Then the next morning, very early, I had to fly from Gatwick to North England, literally take a taxi, run all the time to get on stage, get prepared, get my hair, makeup, and everything, and then spend pretty much the full day on TEDx and on and off TEDx stage, and then fly back because the next 2 days I was at Professional Speakers Academy. So my schedule is constantly flying somewhere and being somewhere. So it was quite intense, I have to say, but it was such fun. It was absolutely amazing to be part of all the women entrepreneurs and women speakers on that specific TEDx only top women in England. It was amazing.
And your topic that you spoke on,
Mm.
something that you've really been working on and taking out there into the business world. Why don't we go into that just a little bit?
Yeah, when the TEDx organizers actually approached me, they said, "Would you like to come? You're a professional speaker. Would you like to be on TEDx stage?" And I was like, "That is like the most amazing offer I ever get lately, because you don't receive offers to go on TEDx stage. Usually, you have to,
Right. Yeah.
chase
Yeah.
people."
Right.
And then I started thinking, which parts of my corporate world or entrepreneurial life, what exactly I want to bring, which idea worth sharing I wanted to do. And then it hit me that I'm famous with amongst the people I work with very crazy ideas. And one of the things what I teach my team is how to stop being on meetings and sending constantly emails. So the title of my topic was Executives, Stop Wasting Your Time and Do Some Work. um, it's something I've been using for the last many years, and it's a way how you can shrink literally like 7-8 hours of meetings into 4 minutes per week. And that's my talk, basically, how you can stop wasting time, in meetings and emails and all that. And in my team, we have no emails rule. So no one from my team is allowed to send emails in between. We send emails to clients, but not in between us. And there is a perfect way to communicate as we talk about it. So communication doesn't have to be via email or even talking. Could be completely different way, very, very effective way as well.
So let's get a feel for what it is that the TEDx people saw in Billy. And then we're going to continue because I've got a very interesting word that I've discovered you use a lot, and I think we need to talk about.
Hi, I'm Bilyana Georgieva, and as a business transformation expert, I help companies stop bleeding to death. I truly believe that every business has the potential to thrive when you have the guts to do things different strategically and have the mindset of winning. I see corporate companies struggling to change their business before it's too late. They see their sales going down, but they're so afraid to take the tough decision to change the portfolio, the DNA of the company. We live in a world where everyone wants results today. The biggest challenge for CEOs nowadays is to change the vision and take that old large company and change it back to be entrepreneurial. Most people believe that companies transform by using the technology, hiring new talents, investing in market analysis. But getting from where you are to where you want to be actually requires cultural change, keeping the core values of the company and taking the people on board to the future you painted. Corporates have been using annual strategic planning cycles to make that change, but that's a tool from the past. Strategy is now shaped weekly or even hourly. If you rely on annual planning or consultancy reports, your company will be out of the market very soon. What's lacking is a broader perspective of how change can be initiated and done in big corporates. That's why I'm here to inspire corporates to create their vision, mission, and business strategy based on market trends. I help companies to change and move to a new direction, yet keeping their values and heritage. I inspire CEOs and leaders to become their own data collectors, read widely, walk the market, look at the trends in the marketplace, make connections that don't seem obvious, and shape the future by watching the consumer's behavior. How do I do it? I use a very simple 4-piece strategy, which have every area of transformation and agile strategy, which I've been using successfully in 20 different industries. Your business deserves more. If you wish to find out how you can change and transform your business with proven strategies and insights from different industries, contact me. I'm looking forward to hear from you.
So we are painting a picture right now, everyone. When did you film that one?
Ooh, I think it was 2018.
Okay, 2018. Okay, now I said I was going to, and I want to recognize we have some more folks showing up, and love it, love it, love it. And yes, 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 Patty, I agree. And Helene, thank you for welcoming to Bilyana Billy to our organization. I love it. I love it. So you are known also. You are a master's prepared high level business strategist that has worked on a very executive level in some of the major industries throughout our world. Guys, picture this. I was a headhunter. I was an international headhunter. She's someone I would have wanted to know, because when you can work with someone that understands strategy and how to shave off millions of dollars in maybe even one invoice because of being strategic and understanding the process and having the right teams, this is what Billy is all about, and what she was doing for a good period of time. You're also known for something called infobesity. Okay, before we go too deep into it, I found this. I love it. I want to go here.
Effective strategies to manage information overload, or as we say it, infobesity. Have you ever stepped out of a meeting feeling a lot more stressed and overwhelmed than when you step into that meeting? If so, it's time for you to change your strategy. Hi, I'm Bilyana Georgieva, a neurobusiness transformation expert, an executive coach, and a speaker. And in this video, we're going to talk about infobesity, information overload, and how we can cope with this so we can have a better version of ourselves. Every day I work with people which level of anxiety grows on a daily basis. They start doubting themselves, asking themselves the question, am I still good? Am I as good as I was before that? Are there any other people right now in that meeting I'm sitting which would take much better decision than me? I want you to step back and remember the first day when you started as an executive or senior manager. You did not have so much experience as of today, but you were taking every single decision from a state of your intuition. Now, how is your life today? You get up in the morning and you read newspapers together with your morning coffee. Then you sit in the car and you listen to the same negative news what you already knew from the newspaper. You go into the office and you're showered with so much information from the people you work with, trying to tell you as much as possible, and your brain is trying to analyze as quick as possible and create these invisible links between the information and the whole global picture of what you have for the business. Now, in such state, when your brain is overloaded with information, is that really the right time to take decisions? Not really. Now, in a state when your brain is so overloaded with too much information, think about the quality of the decisions you're taking. Majority of the people think that if they double the information they know already and have even more knowledge, they will be able to take better decisions. Well, if it didn't work with that much information, do you think that if you double it, it's gonna work? Not really. Think about this. The people who wrote the books you're reading, they're not in your shoes. The people who wrote the newspapers and the news, yes, they have the information, but they don't have that global picture of the business you're running. The people in the office giving you all the advices, they don't have that picture, but they're also not in your shoes as well. So next time when you're in a meeting and you feel overwhelmed and stressed, excuse yourself for a second, go next door and shut all these voices in your head. Ignore for a minute all the information and the data you have and go back to only one voice, which is your own intuition. Because only when you're centered and you're in the state of listening your own intuition, this is the state when you can start taking decisions. And if you have to excuse yourself 2 or even 3 times a day, so be it. But once you center yourself, you'll be able to get much quicker decision, and next time will be much easier to center again yourself. Thank you for watching. I'm Bilyana Georgieva.
Guys, were you taking notes? You know, really, this is good stuff. You guys, seriously.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah, good stuff. And I want to catch up with everyone that, yes, love the message. Mwapuana, love you. Glad you're here with us.
Thank you,
Perfect
Betty.
timing. Oh, good. You know, this is the way it works. And I have no doubt that, yes, when I saw you, Betty, I thought, oh, you showed up for the right show. Listen to your heart and you will know what you are looking for in you. Yes, yes, and yes, yes, yes. Glad this is recorded. Yes, and you can find it everywhere, guys. On the E360 TV platform, download the app today on your favorite device. And on all social media, look for the Service Hero Show. You'll find us. And I cannot take notes. You're still looking for that pin, huh? Oh, my goodness, Pauline. We got to put all hands on deck. Let's find Pauline's purple pin. I love that. Not in your shoes. And intuition. Okay, so we're painting a picture. Remember, I told you, got to stick around for the punchline here because it's huge. It's huge. So we're pre-COVID still. Pre-COVID. You do this amazing, and I'm not going to do it because of the time. However, I did load it. You did this amazing 2020 firecrackers going off and things about goals and, you know, tips. Guys, check out her YouTube channel. Check out her YouTube channel. You'll get so much good information. While you're there, subscribe. That's what we do. We're all service heroes. We all have a service hero inside. And so, yes, thank you very much, Carol. Down it, load it. Oh, purple shoes. I wondered if you would bring that up. Yep. Yep. Also, yeah, not in your purple
image, Kelly.
So, all right. So 2020, you do this amazing, and the goals.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah, pre-COVID, exactly. You have huge clients. I mean, we're talking international, big, huge contracts, big teams doing amazing work for company with their revenues. When you talk about a contract, you're talking in the millions of dollars for your contracts. Okay.
Yeah.
I want you guys to get this. Okay. Then you do the TEDx, and the TEDx December 2019 comes out January. You go on to other speaking platforms. Things are happening and rocking and rolling. And in fact, I think I do have a picture that was probably right around that time that we're talking right now. And here you are, you know, you're out there doing your thing,
yeah.
You know, and on the red carpet, doing the interviews, having fun. And it looked like this was like in the very beginning of March. And then what happens?
The last picture actually was exactly on 5th or 6th of March, where I was at EMC conference, which is the biggest marketing conference in Europe. And I was taking God knows how many interviews a day. So I was participant in the conference, but in addition, I was running behind the scene to take my interviews and do LinkedIn lives and Facebook lives. And, you know, it was like dealing with technologies, and at that time, technology wasn't that amazing as right now, and there was like a lot of crashes. So it was literally like, again, traveling all the time, and either being on stage, being behind the camera, in front of the camera, all kind of ways to run a business. And yes, I was that time in March. I was just finishing phase one with one really big financial company, which is American company, but they're also quite big in the whole Europe. And we were just about to sign up for phase two. And I agreed for 2 more companies to extra additional projects to consult for them. And then COVID happened. So yeah, thank you, Mark.
Yes, and here we go. The PR, international PR giant that you are, Mark Stephen Puller. I'm so excited about the show this week that you are, that is coming onto the E360 TV platform, that will be interviewing. Well, guys, you will want to be totally following what it is that he is doing. Thank you very much, the international man that you are, connector that you are, brilliant. And now you're looking for some paper pen. Purple paint. We did talk about healing through art last night in the nonprofit closed group, because really too many people are feeling very isolated and alone that have gotten sick. And we're going into that phase of the story now. So you had all of these contracts. You're literally flying here and there. You're on stage, behind stage, on camera, on. And then what?
And then, well, if you picture a very busy life, what I was having, when you get sick, sometimes you don't pay much attention. And yes, COVID was happening, but it was kind of like, I'm not going to point countries around, but it wasn't in China, it was in Asia, it wasn't that much in Europe. And I was in Europe and traveling constantly. And I just thought I catch a flu or something, and didn't pay much attention to the day when I just woke up and I couldn't get up from bed. And I want you to picture this. I have a very small purple paint. Yeah, let's pick Mark.
It's a fun show, guys. I mean, come on, this is an inspiring show to inspire others. Yeah, we have a good time here. I'm loving this. Everybody's just having a great time. It's an international party. Come join us. All right. So you're actually in your flat, right, in London?
Yeah, I live in very central London, and it's a very tiny flat. I moved there just for 1 year, and literally, like, if you have been in London, you know that all the flats are tiny. So you open the door and you're already in the living room. Okay, so picture this, you're in the living room already. And then it's a wardrobe, and right after the wardrobe is a kitchen. Opposite the kitchen, there are 12 stairs going up, and upstairs is a king size bed, a cabinet with 3 drawers, and then the bathroom. That's it. It's a maisonette. It's very tiny. Serves the purpose perfectly fine. And because it's very central, it allows me to go to 3 major airports very quickly within 1 hour. Nice. And in London, within 1 hour to go to airport is heaven, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to think about those things when you are doing the kind of level of business and communicating and community and all of this. So you used your intuition, you went to London, and now you can't get out of bed, and we're in March of 2020.
Yeah, I was struggling and not giving up on this some kind of flu, what I thought it was, for about 2 weeks. And that morning I got up, and I'm blessed to have amazing, really good friend of mine in London, and she's a bioenergy healer. So cutting the story short, she was healing me for like 5, 6, sometimes 6 sessions a day for about 3 days. And on the 3rd day, I remember that so I couldn't I was barely getting up from bed, and it was getting worse and worse. And regardless how much healing I was accepting from her, it was just getting worse. till the point of 3 days later, I was it was about 1 or 2 p.m. and I could feel these bubbles in my lungs bursting one by one, really slowly and extremely painful. And that liquid was literally filling up my whole lungs. And it, like, lungs were feeling like, instead of lungs, I had sponge full with water, and I was trying to breathe through water, which wasn't possible. So I managed to get my phone from one side and literally send her a message saying, bubbles are bursting and I can't breathe. So she jumped in, and she only, literally a few seconds later, she said, I'm getting help on that, which basically means this is really bad.
Yeah.
So she has a friend of her who is a scientist, but he's also a bioenergy healer, and he lives in Austria. So now I had for 3 hours 2 people doing this amazing bioenergy healing on my body. And I don't know if you've ever been in such kind of a state when you are just have to surrender to life, to death, to anything there. Yeah. And when you're in such kind of state, the only thing what you experience and you do is to feel complete serenity. So the way how I can explain being in this state between life and death is like feeling like a lake where the water does not move at all, and it looks like nothing is happening, but actually underneath the water there's so much happening. So I was experiencing this experience of watching my 2 amazing friends of literally fighting for me. It was like the good and the bad fighting there for me, and I could just surrender even more and just let go of whatever decision was there. Is it life or death? So it was God knows for how long. I kind of completely lost time and space and locations and where I am. And about I have to say that about 8 hours later, I was relatively okay. I could relatively breathe, and I live alone, so there is no one to call, no one, to help me. And that time, that was like I was one of the first in the first wave in London, and London is 13 million people, and they had these very strict rules. Not that they need some kind of explanation why nothing happened, but there was this kind of rules that if someone lives alone, if that person doesn't have any other health issues in addition to COVID, if that person has paracetamol, because at that time there was only paracetamol available, or at least what we knew about, and if the person has food, then you just leave it at home. They don't take these people to hospitals. So anyway, fast forward about a week later, I was still very weak. I was barely walking up and down those 12 stairs in my flat, but I managed to open my emails, and I was completely shocked because within 2 days I lost my whole business. It was very, very, I don't know, like there's no emotion what you can express when you have something what you built for nearly 20 years. It should have been this year 20 years, but within 2 days to lose something what you've been for 19 years, it's quite painful, I have to say. So that contract with the financial company for phase 2 was completely out of out of the window. The other 2 companies stopped all the contracts, and surprisingly, I just didn't care at that time. I have to say, the only thing I could care was like, I need to breathe, and
that's important.
Some kind of shape, like physical health and mental health. As this really hits when you live alone. It really hits you really bad as a what's going on around. So fast forward about 2 weeks later, I was already managing to get up for at least 10 minutes, and I could sit for. We lost you, Tamara. I hope you're here. I was managing to sit up for about 10 minutes, and I was doing a meditation, and that time I started asking myself the question, okay, so what's next? I mean, I'm kind of out of risk, so I'm going to survive, but what's going to happen with my business? What is next? What is next? That was the only question in my head going on.
Right.
And I was sitting in a meditation, and this kind of meditations where you ask a question and then you wait for the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer was, you're not asking the right questions. And I was like, great. So what is the right question in this case? It was straight away the question, what I should have asked is, what do you want right now?
Right.
What actually shocked me more is, first of all, it's a very powerful question. What do you want right now? Is a very powerful question. What shocked me more was the answer. And the answer was that all I want is to put my feet deep in the hot, golden sand on a beach somewhere and just be, soak the sunshine and just be on the beach. And I went out of that meditation and I started laughing at myself because it was COVID, it's lockdown around the whole world. I still barely walk around my tiny, teeny flat in London, and I want to go on the beach.
Right.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Right. And sorry to interrupt you here, but what I want to do right now is I want to stop right here, because that question again, the question is such a big piece of this. And when you get the answer, you're not asking the right question. So you're asking a question, you're not asking the right question. So what is the right question? And in Billy's case, it was, what do you want right now? What do I want right now? What do I want right now? And then you need to be prepared for the answer. And that was one of the things you said in the video that you had done for the beginning of 2020. And so I actually wanted to, and one of the things I liked about it, again, was that you said, okay, 2020, and you decided to say, okay, what is your 2020 going to look like? Let's look at one word and use goals. However, in that, you said dreams, intuition, what is your intention? What is your, and you used all these other things. And then you said, for purposes of this video, we're going to look at goals. And then you gave great points in regards to that. That was only probably a few months before this experience. And this is where 3 months before this experience, where your whole life has shifted and changed. And it's like, open up the computer and whoa, everything is different. It's just like those people that we serve in the nonprofit that get that call, that, okay, yes, the results are back, and either you or someone that you love has cancer or has COVID, and, or whatever it may be. It's that moment in time that many dread, many then are the deer in the headlight, many are, what do I do now? And the key, and that's why I wanted to stop, because what did you do? You went into a meditation, and you're asking the questions, and then you are told you're not asking the right question. So you came up with the right question. Was that an immediate, like, okay, this is the right question? Or did you give it some thought?
I have been meditating for quite a long time, since 2014. And when you start meditating with more practice, you ask a question and you start getting the answers quite quickly. Sometimes within seconds, like in my case was, sometimes within few hours, sometimes within few days. So the more, what do you want right now? Yes, Patrick, correct. So the more you practice following your intuition, following your own messages, this is not just like a voice in your head. This is your own intuition, which comes from your call it higher self, call it angels, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter really what kind of name you wanna give. It is what can guide you to a better state from what you are right now. That's how I would explain intuition. And it's when you know something, you don't believe, you just know something. And that was what I was experienced. But what is more interesting was 2 weeks later what happened.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now we're going to continue with the story. Okay.
I woke up. It was Friday. I will never forget that. It was Friday morning, and you know when you wake up and you open your eyes, and then you have something coming directly, like a really powerful thought again. And my message was, start packing, you need to go. And I was like, where this came from? I mean, London is my home. Pack and go where? Like what is going on? And at that time, I was hi Laurie. I was about 60-70% back to be able to breathe normally. I had enough energy to be outside bed for about an hour, but I was so exhausted that I had to go back in bed, and I couldn't have deep breaths. So breathing was still really, really an issue. And I didn't do anything. I just ignored that. So next morning on Saturday, I opened my eyes and it was, start packing right now. And I was like, pack and go where? And there was no answer this time. It was like, just pack, and go. And I was like, okay, I think I need to, today I'm going to push myself to stay in bed. And when you push yourself to do something, you want to do exactly the opposite. So I literally had to put myself in bed to not do anything. Sunday morning, I didn't do any packing. Sunday morning, I wake up and it was pack now and go. And I was like, go where? I was like, okay, as a beginning, go to your parents who lives in Bulgaria, because you need someone to take care of you and be more easier for you. So I said, okay, so ignoring one message once, twice, but 3 times is way, way too much. Yeah. And I learn in my life when I have this kind of intuitive messages, I just follow. I stop asking the why question. Why now? Why is going? I stop asking those questions. So Sunday, I managed to pack half of this tiny flat, half of it. That was my strength and energy going to. And then Monday morning, I got up, and when something has to happen in your life, everything flow for you effortlessly. So Monday morning, I got up. That's not just your voice. Yes, Laurie. And Monday morning, I woke up and I was like, that's going to be really fun. So half of my belongings are packed. It's locked down. Let's see how that's going to, go ahead. I pick up the phone and I call the first company what I found as a man in a van, 2 men to come and help me with the rest of the packing and then move it to a storage room. It was just like this. They said, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., you're going to have the 2 men. I was like, thank you so much. Then the storage space was like, no problem at all. These are your passwords. Here you go. And it was just like this, like super, super easy. And I was like, okay, so that's definitely what I need to do right now. It was like my confirmation, when someone you're still doing and following your messages, but you still need the confirmation.
Right.
So I finished my packing Tuesday. My whole flat was packed and out, and I went back lunchtime from my storage room to a completely empty flat, basically, with few furniture there, a little bit, all the food in the kitchen, because I was giving it to charity. And I was like, that's great, but like I don't have bed sheets even to sleep on, and I don't have a flight ticket. And it's a lot. So I was like, okay, so next step is to buy a ticket. And I went on the website, no tickets available. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I had that voice again saying, give them a call on the phone number what they've got. And I called them. That lady it was unbelievable. The lady was like, when would you like to fly? And I was like, well, today is quite too drastic for me. I didn't organize where I'm going to stay there. I have no clue. Is there isolation for 14 days? What is the rules, basically? And I said, can I fly tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, sure. 4:30 p.m. is fine for you. And I was like, yeah, I'm taking that flight. So the only person who knew that I'm flying the next day to Bulgaria, and I packed my entire life and I put it in boxes in a storage room, was my sister. And my sister said, don't you think we need to tell our parents, right? By that time, I knew that I need to isolate myself for 14 days when I land. And I just like that, I found an Airbnb in central Sofia, which can host me for 14 days, just like this. It was unbelievable again. And I said to my sister, you know what? I have no clue what I can expect at the airports. I have no clue how I'm going to get to the airport. How can I land and get out of the airport in Sofia? So let me wake up in the next morning, pinch myself that all this is happening.
I love that.
And then I'm going to call parents to tell them, oh, by the way, I'm in Bulgaria, which is going to be a complete shock for them, obviously. I mean, I've been to Bulgaria to see my parents and, my relatives, like every now and then, like 2-3 times a year. But it's not like, oh, I pack my life and I'm in Bulgaria. So it was, that's my family indeed. And yes, it's cutting again the story short. It took me about, I would say, 8 to 9 months to fully recover. But what was really interesting is that because it was my lungs and it was so badly impacted by all the parasites, I have 2 choices. I had the option to either go for swimming and this really fast recover for lungs, or start running. And I have to say, I'm a lazy person. Okay. First of all, I don't know how to swim exactly. And swimming pools were closed because of lockdown. And start running was like, hell no. I don't have any problem. I was living in Monaco and I was doing 21 kilometers 3 times a week, no problem at all. I was like living in London, 10 kilometers a day was nothing. I mean, no problem at all. But if I need to run, I'm not there at all. And because of COVID, I start running. It took me 8-9 months to fully recover my lungs. It's all good right now. And my health right now is actually even better than before March 2020. I am lazy.
I know you kind of wonder with the story that it's being told, but when it comes to the exercise piece of it, running.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Like I built in my current flat here, although it's temporary, I kind of built my own home gym with elastic bands and a lot of like body exercises. It's just amazing how much you can do regardless that you're home and you have to do everything at home. It's like that doesn't stop me anymore. So I do daily exercises and it's quite amazing.
So we've now established the fact that you a business person, really the top of the game, international, TEDx, stages, TV, radio, on, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, on and on and on and on. And then, however it worked, the first wave in London. Yeah, we all saw the news, right? She's in the first wave. We all can look back to what they told everybody to do. And she was alone, so she was told to stay at home. Whew. And then, thank goodness, you have these international friends. They're, helping you through this. You get through this. And then you have the intuition, which you talked about in business. And you did talk about in the video that we shared in the very beginning, that if things are, feeling a little overwhelming and everything like that, step out for a moment, get centered, have a chance to get refocused and trust in your intuition. And you're talking in regards to a business sense. Then your life happens. Wow. Emails, stuff, business gone, health not 100%. Yet you are doing exactly what you shared in that video, and it's in a personal way. Service Hero, guys, these are so many lessons. That's why I said, get your pen, purple pen if you have it, Aline. We'll have to find it. And then your paper and be writing these things down, because we can learn. Inspiring stories, inspiring others. We can learn from these stories, from Billy's story here. And it gets very exciting, extremely exciting. So here you've got this a business, you're doing all these amazing things and big dollars and everything. And we forgot to mention, you got married and then you decided not to stay married because you decided you wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I was happily married and I'm now happily divorced.
I love that phrase. So we'll leave it at that. And so happily married, happily divorced. Now, what does a business person do that looks at trends? And remember, we were in this article. This is how we met. Expert predictions for 2021 from world-class business impact makers. Okay, so you're looking at everything going on, and then you connect with an amazing group and the GCF Foundation. And there's so many people that are having struggles with classrooms. Anybody get a load of this? Anybody have a little student at your house that you're having to do classes with? We all know classes have been changed. Schools have been changed. Education's been changed. All of this has had effect. And this particular group, they work with teenagers, right, that do drama workshops. And they were doing them face-to-face, drama, stage. You think about all of it. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you do what?
Yes. So JCF, Julian Campbell Foundation, the founder of it is a good friend of mine, and we graduate together, Professional Speakers Academy. And thank you, Carol. What happened there was that, when you're living your life, you don't know how long something is going to happen. I didn't know that my health is going to take me 8 or 9 months, but it was kind of following again my intuition. It was my decision to not start a business until I'm fully healthy, recovered because of previous experience. Meanwhile, Jackie Campbell, which is the founder of Julian Campbell Foundation, I was like calling my friends, and she's as one of my friends who were like exchanging what's happening, how it's going. And back in May, she said, we had to stop everything. The whole charity is in a full breaks because of lockdown, and drama workshop is all about being on stage and acting. So we asked the teenagers to act. And we cannot act right now because everything is in a lockdown. And I was listening, and I was, my background is digital business transformations. I mean, if I can transform corporate companies, then I can transform small businesses as well, right? And I was listening, and I was like, Jackie, that's going to work perfectly fine if we use any kind of a platform for events, and you just bring the kids, I should call them teenagers, online. It took me so that was in May. It took me months to convince her to do it virtually. So in August, we did the very first ever virtual drama workshop, and we broke all the records of old beliefs. So it was the old belief that teens are not going to open up and speak freely when it's on camera instead of face-to-face. We thought that they're going to be too shy to share any kind of thoughts or, what's going on in their mind. We thought that they would prefer their camera to be off instead of on. So we're not going to be able to read body language and help, throughout the workshop. Nothing like this happened, I can tell you. So at the end of the very first virtual workshop, we actually realized that when teens are at home, they are a lot more happier to jump in, act, share thoughts, beliefs, anything what we're asking them, and they're much active than face to face. And right after the workshop, Jackie came to me and said, first of all, thank you so much. Secondly, I can't believe. Third, if we can do this with 15 teenagers, we can do it with 1,500, right? I was like, yeah, you can scale up very easily. Like that is super easy. And she was like, yeah, it's easy for you, this kind of digital stuff, but for me it's difficult. And I said, listen, this is something we tried, we know it works. Let's try something else. I'm always to the point of always pushing further. If we can have something even more, then let's just do it.
Right.
And I said, what about if we run a hybrid drama workshop? So hybrid means some of the teenagers are in their classrooms, some of them are in their home. Because my own voice was saying, the whole situation, lockdown, not lockdown, lockdown again, not lockdown. That's going to keep on and off for about 2 years. That was back in September last year, 2020. And I said, Jackie, this is what I'm totally feeling here. And I think we should, to be able to test completely what works, what doesn't work, let's just do a hybrid event. All I want you to do is to agree with the school and let's just do it. So she came to me and she said, no problem, we're going to do it face to face. Then she called a month later saying, actually, you're right. There is like a semi-lockdown. And then at the end, she said, right before December, it was 14th of December, the date. Right before December, she said, this is really bad news because schools does not allow any facilitators, any mood mentors. None of us can go inside the school. And I was like, this is a perfect hybrid. So instead of freaking out, what we did was absolutely amazing. And I really want to share that. We had facilitators from all over the world, literally. We had it from China to England to Canada. I was physically again in Bulgaria, and I was just returned back from England. We had it from 2 people from America. We had it from everywhere, and from Colombia. And then we had kids from Enfield School in London, which is northeast London. And some of the students were actually in their homes. So it was the perfect 300 students plus all the team from JCF jumping in for 5 hours workshop. And
I hate to do this, but we're almost out of time. And it worked, right? It worked. It worked. You had over 300 kids or something like this.
Yeah.
And so I know that we're out of time, guys, and we'll invite her back, and we're going to get get an update on what's going on, and we'll do that here very shortly because we have got to close, and so we can let the next show on to the network. So I do believe we made a case of a service hero, and we will go with part 2 here soon. Okay.
Thank you, Tamara, for having me.
Bye, everyone.